Good evening.
Hi, Steven.
It's been at least 5 minutes since I've seen you.
It's true. It's
Good.
true.
How you doing?
I'm good.
All right, well, it's day 8. Check-in.
Day 8. Check in. You're up.
I know I am. I actually knew that this time. Sometimes I actually am really guessing. So today was interesting. I will say I think I tried is not the intentional word, but I think to some degree I was trying to cheat today. And I caught myself. And I kind of say cheat mainly because I woke up to a morning, and I initially was like, not necessarily want to jump out of bed. And it's like, well, I'll use part of this time and I'll go ahead and try and meditate, which I did. And it was, probably turned it back into snooze sleep a little bit quicker than it did meditation. So it wasn't as much as what it should have been, but still, I was like, hey, that was something. At least felt like I started my day, but and then I just got into the mix of it. Got into the mix of a lot of things going on, things I was looking at, things I was researching and studying, and obviously very enthusiastic about. But and I was, even trying to, I guess, cheat again with that in my head, going, it's like, well, that's creativity. It's feeding my mind, and it's about mid to late-ish day. I'm not sure exactly when, but a little bit later in the afternoon, I kind of got to a point where I was doing things, and I realized I was feeling a little anxious, which was interesting because I don't really have anything to be anxious about, but I felt anxious. And then I guess the other thing was I was kind of looking at, and I started reflecting on some of the meditations I've had for the last 3 or 4 days, especially wisdom versus delusion. And I think what was interesting, what kind of hit me as I was evaluating my anxiety and evaluating, kind of just the moment, even though I was serving a creative mindful purpose, which I do think qualified a couple of days or yesterday. I think especially yesterday, I had a lot of like really insightful things. I think today it was a little bit more of the quote unquote delusional because I was trying to excuse going down a rabbit hole as a justification to not pause and take time for me. So I took a meditation after that, and it was actually quite powerful meditation. Without I guess the best summary is I managed to get very deep into focusing on breathing and listening and kind of just general presence. And I think the funniest thing is when I guess a herd of motorcycles, or is it a gaggle? Herd or gaggle? I'm not sure which way, but
it's a murder.
A murder of motorcycles came through. It actually almost sounded like a choir because I was like so tuned in at that moment. I just had myself kind of like really into that, just observing, listening. But honestly, I almost don't even feel like I felt my body during that moment because it was all just focusing on the moment. So I think it's kind of an interesting day, and I think that the cheating aspect is really one of those. Actually, might be part of what the discussion is because it wasn't an intentional cheat. It was actually I'm making rationalizations about why it's okay to necessarily not specifically focus on a certain intent because I'm sloughing it off, but do the same thing sometimes with work. So maybe it's not always things that are negative that will drive you away from taking time for yourself. Sometimes it's even the fun things. And I think, especially after that meditation, which I was really felt refreshed and I felt kind of renewed after, I had to reflect on it. I was like, yeah, I mean, you got to keep yourself honest. So I think I did good today. I really, really, really had a good day. But yeah, I had to check myself a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I kind of felt the cheating aspect today. I really got focused on a number of things, work-wise and volunteer-wise, and that kind of sucked me into a bit of a rabbit hole where I did have some. I had grander aspirations for myself today than I achieved. but I did my meditation, my daily calm today. I went back to my Breaking Habits series, and it was on addiction, which was good. Was just, you know, the you know, not necessarily beating yourself up. And I you know, I think you know, there's always times where you think to yourself, if you, you know, that line between being an addict about something and you know, being passionate about it, or even just, you know, I mean, you can take everything from food to alcohol to smoking to drugs to anything, you know, I mean, addiction.
3D printing.
You're an addict.
I mean, I'm an addict to 3D printing, clearly. But no, I mean, I think there's something to it. I mean, addiction is, it's a state of mind.
It is a state of mind.
Yeah. And it can be to a lot of things. It is not, you know, we think of it certain ways, but absolutely can be to a lot.
Yeah, it really is the kind of, again, the way they treat this series is very much, it's, you know, in this case, it was about 12-ish minutes, but they really treat it a lot as the majority of the time is spent in the breathing, and then they run through, not the science behind addiction, but the idea that again, I think I said this on another one of the nights, sitting with that thought. So when you really want something and you just can't, you know, you can't let it go, but you know you shouldn't, you know, it's sitting there and being mindful about, why am I feeling this way? Is it, you know, because I'm anxious? Is it because I'm worried? Is it because I'm stressed? Is it because I'm happy? You know, I mean, it could be almost any number of reasons, and sitting there and really thinking through. And that's, again, trying to be more mindful. In a lot of other ways, it's also important to be mindful of that when you are working on bettering yourself. And that was, you know, the basis behind it. So I did that. And I did do I did a lot of personal growth in the sense of reading and some podcasting and things like that today, that I do feel like I feel like would qualify. I do still, I have just enough time to be able to get my yoga in before bed. I have a more bedtime.
There's still time left in the day. Yes, we should say that there's still time left in the day.
There is. So I still have time to get that in and to feel comfortable doing that. So I'm still going to do that, because I am already feeling the benefits of getting back into that regular daily workout, and a combination of everything from cardio to strength training to stretching and working myself back into kickboxing. So I am feeling better, and it was a good day overall. And I am going to go and do that instead of sitting down and ordering my new laptop, which I still haven't done.
I need to order new clothes. You know, that's out there too. But,
yeah.
I mean, there's a time for shopping and there's a time for not shopping. I'm just right now, I'm not feeling like a good consumer at this moment, but I will be a good consumer in the near future. I will. I
okay, awesome. So yeah, that was overall, I don't think it was a bad day. And I do feel like I did things that did further that personal growth and self-love and all this hippie bullshit that we're talking about.
Hey, we're only talking about 45 minutes a day. Yeah, it's like, and now it does, yeah, it's kind of funny. It does kind of sound like that, because, you know, what do we do with the other 23 hours and 15 minutes? I mean, well, generally, there's a lot of things going on. Well, sleeping.
Part of it's working.
When do we sleep? I mean, and actually, technically, right now, when do we work? I mean, at this moment. But we're always working, and I think always doing. And that's the I don't know. That's just part of being. And I think it's kind of funny that we both found that groove, and it doesn't matter which zone we're in and kind of what's going on. It's part of the thing. I like this promise, because I really do think that there is it's just raising a notch on my day. It's an interesting, it's kind of an interesting sugar coating or just frosting, whatever, you know, potatoes. And you know, some people like potatoes is on top of muffins and giving people for intervals. And I'm not saying anything particular,
croutons. Maybe it's croutons.
Maybe it's croutons.
It's the croutons on the salad of your life, Steven.
Yeah. I mean, well, you gotta have, who doesn't want croutons? So, but anyways, I'm liking it. So I don't know. I guess we keep on going, and maybe eventually we're published one of these. I don't know.
Maybe
we may or may not have actually had the earlier episodes put in the format that we can debate about this. So otherwise, I'll just enjoy talking to you through the camera and then seeing you 5 seconds later.
Right. Love you.
Love you too. Bye. Or
Bye.
Stop recording. Stop.